Hi everyone, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy. I am a soul therapist and an intuitive that connects with the angelic energy, and I help the helpers, the healers, and the light bringers of this world to live their most magical life. Today we are going to be diving into the weekly energy, what we need to know about the collective energy that impacts each and every one of us, and what the angels want us to know about how we can best navigate this week. So what I do with these readings is I take a little bit of time to talk about the channeled messages, what's going on in the energy, what the channeled messages are that have come through in terms of how we can best navigate this energy. And then we dive into, at the end of this reading, the tarot, where we take a look at what's going on and we build upon the messages that we have already delivered. So we're going to take some time to just let this all unfold. This is a lot. We have a lot going on, a lot coming up. It's definitely a transformational energy. And I'm actually really excited about that. A lot of people don't say that they're excited about Mercury retrograde, but I'm very excited about this particular combination of these energies that we have coming up, because I truly feel in this energy that everything that's happening right now and coming up is all about setting us free. There's a lot of energy around forgiveness right now of ourselves, of other people, of us working on releasing shame and guilt and letting these things go so that we are unchaining ourselves from these things that we have been stuck to for a long time. Let me talk about what we have coming up. Starting tomorrow, we enter into this next eclipse portal. We go into an eclipse season, and so tomorrow, I'm filming this on the 18th, so tomorrow on the 19th, and going into the 20th, we have this solar eclipse in Aries. And this is, I would say that eclipses are very much about, for me, transformation. And very much about, and I feel specifically with this eclipse, like that there's a lot of moving parts here, a lot of things moving around, being adjusted in order to put us on our path toward our destiny. So we have to trust that, right? Because this energy is really going to ask you to have faith. It's going to ask you to trust. It's going to ask you to continue to keep coming back to your light, even if you're feeling very overwhelmed by the things that are happening, even if you're not understanding why things are happening the way that they're happening. The answer to that question during this time period, and really always, is that it's happening for our highest and best good. So when you find yourself becoming overwhelmed, do your best to come back to this idea that this is happening for your highest and best good, that this is happening to set you on your best possible course for your destiny, for the direction that you're meant to be going. I think that this is so important. This also opens up this eclipse portal. So whenever we have one eclipse, we always have another eclipse with that full moon following it. So during this time period, we're going to be finding ourselves doing a lot of work. And so you add to that, on top of this eclipse portal, this week we go into Mercury retrograde, and we also go into Taurus season. So I think that we're going to find that this energy is really slowing down. I don't know if you guys noticed, like yesterday, today, probably we'll be feeling this tomorrow. Definitely Aries season is going out with a bang, where we're feeling that fire of the fire sign of Aries. We're feeling, I don't know, like for me, it was like this last minute spark of inspiration. This, like, okay, here's your list of these things that you need to do before the energy slows down a bit, right? So I noticed that for myself. I noticed I had all kinds of ideas coming through this morning. I had all kinds of visions of where things needed to go. I had a lot of clarity coming through, a lot of inspiration, and a lot of just this focus on taking care of these little things that I needed to take care of, that I was being guided to take care of before this energy slows down. So pay attention to where you're feeling inspired to take action, where you feel like you need to be taking care of these things, because definitely after as of like Wednesday, but especially like Thursday, Friday, as we're moving further into the weekend, I think that you're definitely going to start to feel that slow down, and the energy goes from this outward, taking action, focusing on moving forward, to then with this Mercury retrograde and also Taurus season, because that's a little bit of a slower energy to me, of going within. Mercury retrograde is very much a time to reflect. And in my opinion, so are eclipse portals, right? It gives us this opportunity to really take a look at where we have room for growth, where we need to make changes, where we feel as though we have wandered off path. You're probably going to be shown that. So pay attention to what's showing up for you. Pay attention to the issues that are coming up for you. This eclipse energy will last over the next 6 months, right? So these things that are happening for you now, these are the things that you're going to be working on over the next 6 months. But if you're recognizing that, if you are noticing and recognizing the lessons in this, I really feel as though we can work through this work more quickly, that we can do this healing that we need to do more quickly. This is a time of healing, of reflection. I would say Mercury retrograde, that comes with all of the re's, right? It's a period of renewal. It's a period of redoing things as well, right? So we might find ourselves going backwards and taking a look at, okay, where do I need to redo this? Where do I need to do this better? Where do I need to make adjustments so that moving forward, this is going in the direction that I want it to go? Now, I feel like it's really important for me to acknowledge, and I talked about this a lot last week, this energy that feels very powerful in terms of manifestation right now. And I do think that even though this energy is slowing down, we're going to find that we're still rapidly manifesting things. But here's the key. You have to be very, very mindful of what you are giving your mental energy to. This is not a good time to be venting a lot about the things that you have going on, or to be seeking a lot of support from a lot of different people, because what happens is we find ourselves putting a lot of thought, a lot of focus, a lot of energy into those things. And of course, I'm not saying, of course, if you need support, seek support, right? But what we want to be doing is visiting the energy of the things that are stressing us out, visiting the energy of the fear, but not living in that fear or not giving it too much of our mental focus. If we can, the more that we can shift into this mental focus of what we're wanting to create and acting as if we are living the life that we want to create, that is going to support the manifestation of the things that you want to create so much better. I just feel like the mental power right now is so strong. And so if you're thinking about visualizing, getting excited about the things that you want to create, that's going to help it to rapidly manifest. But it works both ways. So if you're focusing on things that you're worried about, you actually, I feel like I need to warn people about this, maybe creating the very things that you don't want to be creating. And a lot of that stuff gets redirected by the angels so that we're not creating it. However, if there is value, if there is a lesson in it, they will let us experience this. And so for those of you that find yourself spending more time in your head, or you've been working on releasing worry, releasing fear, this is going to come up for you for sure. So it's very important that you are being mindful about what you are investing your time and your energy in, and that you are giving that time to reflect on these things that you're wanting to create. Right. So definitely know that that's going to be challenging, because you are going to find that challenges are coming up for you. I find that it's really, really helpful with this to take a look at that and say, okay, what lesson am I supposed to be learning here? Or what is it that I'm being shown I need to work on here? And then I put my energy into working on it. And then I also think about, okay, what is it that this is showing me that I'm not creating that I would like to create, right? So if I'm having a lot of worry and I'm having a lot of thoughts around lack in my life or something of that nature, can I shift that into, having thoughts about, isn't it amazing what an abundant life I have? And then I might think about all of the things that I already have been blessed to manifest, all of the things that are already abundant in my life, and focusing on that so that I'm creating more abundance in my life rather than living in the energy of the lack. I also had somebody, I posted today just about slow manifestation, the slow burn, right? And how it can be such a beautiful journey of things unfolding. And I truly believe that when we have a slower journey, that there's a really beautiful unfolding that happens that just doesn't happen when things manifest easily for us, right? That strength that's developed within us, that perseverance that's developed within us. And I very much feel like this is an energy that we can expect this week of maybe feeling challenged by some of the things that aren't happening, but can we lean into the beauty of the journey? Because when you lean into the beauty of the journey, you start to recognize the little steps along the way, the little manifestations along the way, and it becomes exciting. It becomes fun. I shared with you guys last week that part of what I would love to work on and am wanting to develop and manifest is to grow my YouTube channel. And I could focus on the fact that that's not where I want it to be, right? But again, that's not a good investment of my energy. So can I shift it into this focus on just celebrating every single time that I get a new subscriber? I do, by the way. I get really, really excited about it. So if you're watching this on my YouTube and you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Please support the channel and the work that I'm doing. Or even if you're watching this on my Facebook and you're not subscribed, it's totally free and it's totally a way to support the work that I'm doing, and it makes me really happy. It's a really great way. But I can focus on that, and I can focus on how fun it is to watch it grow and watch it develop, because it is growing. It's maybe not growing at the pace that I would like it to, but it's growing and it's developing. And so I just have to kind of trust that it's developing at the pace that it's supposed to. And somebody had commented in there about, what about when you're feeling really impatient because you've been waiting and waiting and waiting? And I know a thing or two about waiting on divine timing. This has been very much my lesson in the past several years. Some of you guys know this, but when my husband and I decided to divorce, that ended up the circumstances that were happening at the time ended up creating a situation where we ended up living in the same home together after we had separated for 4 years. So if you can imagine, that was a challenging time. That was a time when I was very much like, why isn't this happening for me, God? You have me teaching people how to manifest. You have me helping people to manifest all of these amazing things for themselves. Why isn't this happening for me? Why isn't it coming together financially for me? There was a lot of frustration in that. And I learned a lot in that journey, and I think that was one of those situations, and I think that this is oftentimes true when something isn't manifested, that there is a bigger value in the lesson that you are learning than the manifestation itself in your life. And sometimes we have to learn the lessons, develop the strength, develop the skills, develop whatever it is that is wanting to be developed within us, because we need that for moving forward. Whether we need that story to help give other people hope, or whether we need to just develop certain things within us that then are later utilized in the next level of things that we accomplish. I see it happening for me all the time. Eventually, I was able to have those things manifest and to have those things happen. And I have to say to you guys, the gratitude that I have in my home is unmatched. And do I live in some like big mansion or like the greatest home ever? Absolutely not, right? But because of what I experienced, every single morning I wake up and I say, thank you for letting me be in this home. Thank you for letting me create this home for me and for my kids. And it's just a really beautiful energy. And I wouldn't have connected with that had I not gone through what I went through. And I think that it taught me a lot. I also, there was a lot of value in the way that my ex-husband and I had to kind of learn how to co-parent together, basically, right? So there was a lesson in that for me, and it really changed and progressed our relationship. And now we truly do have a friendship with one another, and we co-parent really, really beautifully. And had it not taken that much time, and had I not gone through that, I wouldn't be in this place. And I don't believe that we would have that relationship, and that relationship is what's best for my kids. Right? So that's just an example of that. But I find that when things aren't manifesting, that there are things that are needing to happen and things that are needing to develop. And a lot of times when it does manifest and we have the ability to look back, we can see those things that were developed within ourselves. We can see what happened and how things changed, and how really we're being supported by God's bigger vision for us. So sometimes it does. It takes a lot of time, and sometimes you are going to feel very impatient. But if we can continue to hold the vision of that, eventually we will get there. And can we trust and flow with the way that things are needing to progress? Because ultimately, God really does want what's best for us in terms of the plan, right? We also have to consider the fact that we all came here with a chart. We all came here with a plan for things. And so sometimes that plan is being followed through. So maybe it's not manifesting because that needs to happen. Or maybe we need to learn how to not block our blessings. And that's what I'm talking about a lot with the thoughts, is like, I think a lot of us right now, a lot of the challenge with manifestations is we're blocking our blessings. We're creating these very circumstances that we don't want to create because we are focusing on the wrong things, the things that aren't helpful to us, the fear and the stress and the worry. And if you let yourself go down that path, you're going to create more of it. So I think that it's really, really important. And by the way, no judgment. I go there myself, right? And I've had to learn to redirect that often. I found myself over the past couple of weeks really trying to redirect that, because I am in the process of making some new leaps of faith. And I find like that fear coming in, and it's saying, hey, you should worry about this, right? And I take a look at that and I say, choose to not go in that direction. I choose to see the vision. I choose to trust God. And I think that if we can do that, trust the universe, whatever that higher power is for you, that eventually that will come. And so where are we blocking our blessings? And also taking a look at where we need to be taking action, right? Paying attention. Our intuition is guiding us always. And I think a lot of times we have that intuitive knowing, I need to do this before this can happen, right? And we don't honor it, or we push that aside. And so if you're feeling stuck, that's another question to ask yourself, is like, what has your intuition been telling you that you need to do that you haven't been doing? And by the way, that'll come up for you here in this energy. I also feel like here in this weekly energy, and also just throughout the course of the next few weeks as they're unfolding, that there is going to be a powerful healing that's happening for us. And a lot of times healing isn't comfortable, so you want to keep that in mind. Your stuff is going to be brought to the surface, but it's being brought to the surface to give you an opportunity to heal it, change it, adjust it, whatever. You can't hide from your bullshit in this energy, and that's uncomfortable. But recognize it for what it is. It's your bullshit, and there needs to be a change. There needs to be an adjustment, and you can either complain about it or you can change it, right? And that's your choice. You get to choose. And I think that if we can choose to change it, and if you're not sure how to change it, ask your intuition. Ask God to show you, because you will be shown. That's the other piece of it. But I feel like a lot of times we have this intuitive knowing, but again, we ignore it. So I think that that's really, really important. I also want to acknowledge in this energy, as this energy slows down, we're going to shift into needing more rest, more peace, more calm. So this isn't going to be a time to just like push, because you're going to be emotionally tired. You're going to be physically tired. You're going to be spiritually tired. This is a great time to do more meditation, to do more self-care, to get extra rest, and to just honor what it is that your body and your soul and your energy and your emotions are asking of you, and tuning into yourself and asking yourself, what is it that I'm needing right now? Let's take a look at the cards that we have. So speaking of that, we have the Hermit card, right? It's time to go within. This is a time to go within. This is a time to take a look and reflect. And what's interesting is we have the Hermit here, and you notice his lantern, right? And that lantern is about us connecting to our healing, and it's about us connecting to our light, and it's about us connecting to the vision of where we're meant to be and our destiny. But it requires us to take some time and some space to do some shadow work, to do some reflecting, to do some work on ourselves. But it brings with it the star energy, right? The light in the Hermit's lantern is meant to be the star energy, which is healing, which is wish fulfillment. This is an energy of us getting out of our own way in whatever way we need to do that. We all have our stuff. I promise you guys, I'm working on getting out of my own way myself, okay? So I'm not just preaching about it. So allowing this journey so that we can get to the healing. It's almost like the clearing that allows our light to shine through is what I'm feeling very much with this energy. We also have the Magician. Again, what are you manifesting? Pay attention to what you are manifesting, because whether you are paying attention or not, you are manifesting things. So make sure that you are manifesting from the right energy. This is also this is about having everything that you need for something. So maybe somebody has been like kind of like sitting on the fence and like, I don't know, I don't really feel like I have what I need to do this particular thing. And this is a message about understanding that you do have everything that you need. And maybe that's your bullshit that's coming up for you that you need to take a look at, right? That's not the truth. And you have everything within you to be able to do the things that your soul is calling you to do. So make sure that you're honoring that and listening to that. This is a beautiful energy that's coming with this. These cards are fantastic, but this is the journey that's leading us into this. So we also have the Ten of Cups. This is our happiness. This is our fulfillment. And we might be taking a look at that during this period. What do I need to change in order to feel more happiness, more joy in my life? Chances are that means cutting out doing things that you don't like to do. Chances are that means being more authentic. Chances are that means allowing yourself to create circumstances in your life that allow you to feel more free. Whether that's freedom of time, freedom of resources, finances, more free within your relationships, within your connections, whatever that is. But where do I need to make some changes so that I feel more in flow and more happy and comfortable and peaceful in my life? The next card that we have here is the Queen of Wands. So paying attention to where you're feeling creative. We might not necessarily be taking a lot of action during this period, but notice what's coming up for you. Write down these ideas that are coming up for you, especially today, especially tomorrow, but all throughout the week, what's coming through. Make sure that you write those down, because I'm very much feeling like these are quick bursts of inspiration and then they're gone. So making sure that we're writing those down and coming back to these ideas and building on these ideas. I feel like this energy is going to really help to support that. And I'm feeling like helping to support a plan for how we can make these ideas a reality. And then the next card that we have here is the King of Pentacles. There are great gifts for you here. There are wonderful things happening for you here and beautiful things coming in. This is an energy of what you are investing in, you are creating. So if you are putting yourself into creating the things that you're excited about, that light you up, whatever that is in your life, you're going to get the payoff from that. It might not happen this week, next week, whatever, but it might. right? You might see a solid return on your investment. And this is my card for a wonderful return on your investment. This is the Midas touch. This is what you are focusing on, you are receiving. So again, be really, really mindful about what you're focusing on this week and always. So I am sending you light. I think that this is going to be an intense energy. I won't lie to you about that. I think that we're going to feel a little bit all over the place. In these kinds of energy, your best bet is to not hold on to anything too tightly, to let yourself be moved, to let yourself flow and be malleable and shaped, to be shown the direction that we are meant to be in. Because sometimes our human doesn't always see the best for us, or the best next step for us, or the best direction that we need to go in. So we have to kind of go within and listen to our intuition. This is a great time to do that, and also let ourselves be shown by what is developing and what is happening in our lives. But you have all of the answers within you. Make sure that you're tuning in and you're listening to them. I think that this energy is really going to support that for you guys. Thank you guys so much. I will see you soon with another video. Take care.